top of the transmission pan. So this is an A904 3-speed. Barely hand tight there, that's nice. So I'm going to try to rebuild this transmission myself. It leaks, so we're going to see how big a mess we can make. Invariably, I'm just going to run it down in my armpit. This is a fucking mess. Good morning. We made it to Friday, and today we got a lot of stuff to do too. This week we got the bumpers off, we got the fuel tank out, let's see, we got the seats out, we got the wet carpet out, the doors off, the fenders off, the hood off, obviously. So we're still in the disassembly phase of this truck. I haven't figured out when I'm gonna edit videos. So I've been working on this thing every day, having a good time with it. When does the video get built? Maybe tomorrow, but tomorrow's Saturday. That's a perfect day to work on this kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out too. Other projects we're gonna work on today. The interior. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get the transfer case out, and by the end of the weekend, the engine and transmission will be out. If you're wondering what we're gonna do for an engine, that's a 1.9 ALH TDI from VW. That's what I want to put in here. I want to mate it up to the original A904 transmission and the transfer case that's in here. And it's transaxle day. Got to pull the front drive shaft, get the cross member out, and unbolt the transfer case. Wrench. Okay. That hole seems to go into the transmission somehow. Nice. So we got some more drippies. Now the drive shaft, and then the transfer case. So getting this drive shaft out was a little bit of a project than I expected. It wasn't hard, it's just I had to learn how to do it. I disconnected it at the differential first, and I think that might have been a mistake, because then trying to get the bolts out of the double carton here back at the transfer case. That was tricky. It couldn't get a good tool on there except for an open-end wrench. And then with everything disconnected the way it is, as far as it wasn't connected to the front differential, there's no way to keep it from spinning. And I think I might have caught that a little bit in video before I got frustrated and turned it off. Not really frustrated, but I just needed to go through and figure it out. And filming just makes that everything double hard for some reason. But ended up sticking a pry bar into the double cardan here just to wedge it in and hold it against the U-joint while I loosened up the bolts, and then it came out no problem. But yeah, it took a minute to get to that point. I went through a lot of tools trying to figure out how to make that happen. Let's hope that the transfer case goes easier. Time to get a jack underneath that now. That came out easier than I thought it would. I'm not complaining. It's just 6 bolts, wiggle it off the shaft. Vacuum connections here that control the original 4-wheel drive for the front, the engagement, and a vent tube that I had to cut. But other than that, it's good. It's not a stock shift lever. I tried to upgrade it to the Aziz, I think, or something like that. Anyway, I'm using this, converting it over to get rid of the contraption that hung off the edge. It just didn't work with this transfer case. It was made for a 241 or a 231, I think was the other number. I gotta check. Actually, let's look and see what this is again. And of course, I don't have my glasses. I'll figure it out. Let you know. Have fun, guys. Ta-da! If anyone can get dirty working on a vehicle, it's me. So what am I doing now? Finally pulling the motor out. I did a lot of work off camera. Should have to do now in theory is pull the 2 motor mount bolts and then wiggle it out. And then wiggle it out. We'll see if that happens. We'll also get to find out how many things are still connected that I didn't see. A little better than I expected. That was thunder. Trick is to not lose a finger. One. Yeah, I might need to pull those motor mounts out. All right, I think I got them out this second. Find out. See if we can get with this. Okay. It's there. Always more bolts. Okay. So it's important that nobody feels bad for this truck, what I'm about to do to it. This thing is held together with tire wraps and Home Depot bolts. This red wire here came off the battery is the ground. The black wire went to the starter. That's a square head bolt attaching the ground, sort of. And how attached is it? Let's look. Oh yeah. It's a normal butt splice connector underneath here. Hell, it's not even automotive wire. This is an extension cord. It's a wonder this thing ran at all. I don't feel bad. All right, we got that side out. Do I want to keep messing with this side? I think we do. I think we don't. There's a lot more stuff on that. Let's see what we can get out of this. Okay, that's exciting. What do we have that's still connected here? Anything? Throttle cable's not connected, but it looks like it is. I think there's a good chance that this might come out. Guys, hold nothing there. How is it the transmissions have an unending amount of fluid in them, but they're always low on fluid? I think at some point you just give up, right? Unbelievably, except for the motor mounts, everything was disconnected. You know what? I'm going to let it just bleed where it is. It's not hurting anything. All right, so we've got the engine out. We've got the transmission out. Comes with a beat up oil cooler. And we got a truck that has a lot of junk left in it. A lot of stuff that needs to come out probably. Some of it I'm going to have to keep, I think. You know, these containers fit in there nicely. I might want to keep those. Probably don't need this vacuum system. So I'll definitely pull that out, disconnect all the AC lines, probably leave the firewall mostly alone, get all this wiring out of here that I'm definitely not going to need again. And just shovel everything down on the floor. I hate a messy floor. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. But I cleaned it up once already today, and there's no point in cleaning it again until I get all of this debris down on the floor, get it off the truck so I can start working with something clean again. I had a great plan of storing the motor in the engine compartment so that when I get this transmission rebuilt, I could put it back together, make sure everything works. That ain't happening. this is just, it's too far gone. The wiring is a total disaster. I think I've mentioned that before. Every wire is chafed. All the power and ground wires, the major ones, are made out of extension cords. Previous owner did me a favor by making it so that I will not feel guilty doing anything at all to this truck. And I'm not knocking the previous owner. I mean, they sold it to me for a good price, and they did the best they could. Anyway, time to start ripping stuff apart. You don't need to see that, I don't think. Have fun. We're in a pretty good place now as far as getting this cleaned up. We got most of the dry debris out. There's still a little bit of oil related stuff, but for the most part we can see what's here, and it's not being gross. The only fluids remaining are in the differentials, and I have no intention of opening those up right away anyway. I'm going to leave the wire harness where it is, because in order to get it any further out I have to take the dashboard out. I know the dashboard and the wire harness have to come out eventually, but today's not the day. I want to get some other stuff done first. I'm going to leave the brakes installed, even though I know those brakes are going to go away when we put the 1-ton axles in. I know we're going to have to go to a bigger master cylinder, different booster, and all of that. But for now I want to have brakes so that we do roll in and out to pressure wash. We'll be able to do that. Same with the steering, leaving the steering connected until the axles come out. This is pretty much how it's going to sit for a while we move on to this transmission. I don't know how good it is. I know it's rebuildable, and I intend to rebuild it. The previous owner said that it had just been rebuilt, but it had some issues. Park was pretty much non-existent. If you had it in park, it was actually in reverse. Basically, the linkage was messed up in it, and I think that led to some other issues with bands and clutches inside. But regardless, I want to take it apart, and I want to build it anyway. I want to rebuild that. I want to put a reverse manual valve body in it. The biggest reason for that is I don't want to deal with the automatic kickdown linkage going to the diesel motor, the VW motor. I'm not sure how that'll work out. I'm sure I could figure it out, but having a reverse manual valve in there would be nice. Basically, it won't do any automatic things. It's an automatic transmission that shifts manually, up and down. And for what I'm going to be doing, it's good enough. Next step, clean the floor again. Uh-oh. But ignore the fact that a bunch of pieces fell out. This is the